Welcome back, Robert. You are from the Norfolk County RSVP program. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what you do?
Oh, I'm so happy to, Tamara. So Norfolk County RSVP is part of a national service network where we are now part of AmeriCorps Seniors. We receive a federal grant through AmeriCorps Seniors in order to recruit volunteers to help in so many different areas. Certainly COVID has been a challenge to find volunteers to help. Most of them we're growing in remote ways, but everything from Meals on Wheels driving, elementary school tutoring, food pantry support, rides for veterans, other support for veterans at the Norfolk prison. And the Norfolk County part is our sponsor is the Norfolk County Commissioners. So our office is in Dedham, and they are a wonderful support with our funding. In addition to a big support of our veteran programs. So Norfolk County RSVP technically is Retired Senior Volunteer Program, though recruiting volunteers age 55 plus, of which I don't consider myself a senior. I mean, ultimately it's kind of like, or retired. I'm certainly not retired. Many of us are so active. So it's really just ongoing work that older adults want to do as volunteers.
What is your role and how long have you been working there?
Oh gosh, 6.5 years now I have been in this organization, and coming from a background that was really specialized in working in blindness communities. Now I'm working with people my own population and older. So I head up this program, which means that I oversee and write the grant, the budget, financial reports, as well as initiate different programs that we will discuss. We do also have a full-time volunteer coordinator, Chris Goldsmith. He heads up elementary school tutoring. Though I'm a jack of all trades. I like to think master of a few instead of master of none. It's never a dull moment. So we're running programs and being accountable to our grantor for them.
And you've got two new and very special programs that are starting up soon. Can you tell us the names of the two programs?
Yes. I'm so happy you were willing to have me back on to discuss these because they are so timely tomorrow. One is the Cyber Seniors Program, and the other is Literacy Volunteers of America, remote volunteering through the Stoughton Library Program. And they kind of cross over a little bit, but they're really about supporting older adults to volunteer through the computer and boost up their skills.
So let's start with the literacy program first. Can you tell me who is eligible to participate in this program?
For the literacy program, really anybody who is age 55 and older who has a basic knowledge of Zoom and is available to be part of a English as a second language remote training through Zoom, and then subsequently volunteer once a week for a couple of hours. They ideally are somebody who is interested in working with immigrants, adults who are learning to read English and speak English. And I think it's an exciting program because the Stoughton Library has been at it for many, many years, and they have a very good reputation for being part of the General Massachusetts Literacy Association. And their training is very extensive. It is a 6-session, 2-hour per session training. So those are the requirements.
What kind of training do the volunteers go through in order to become what would we call them, an instructor?
A volunteer tutor, I would think is the term. So the first step would be attending an orientation, which will occur on Thursday, February 11th in the evening from 6 to 7:30, an hour and a half. And people will have an opportunity to learn about what is involved before making a commitment to the training. And the trainings will occur over the next few weeks. Uh, it would really be a multimedia training over Zoom, where very talented instructors, professional literacy trainers, and people leading this program will be instructing the volunteers on the basics of what would be involved in a 1 hour training, a 1 hour one-on-one meeting. They would be once a week for an hour and a half to 2 hour meetings with your client. And there would be many resources available, both sent through email for the volunteer to read up on, as well as membership in the Massachusetts Literacy Association to be able to network with other volunteers and really learn from each other how to be better tutors. So it's a very well thought out plan.
The people who are participating, who are trying to learn English, do they come from Norfolk County, or can anyone sign up?
It's a great question. They do need to be local. So they're really not from anywhere. They might, maybe a few are a little bit outside of the county, but most of them, if not all, are in the county. Part of the reason is that there will be a point, probably after 6 months or more, if things, God willing, open up enough where there is safety, then in-person tutoring, would occur. So volunteers are asked to make this 6-month commitment, and then where they are comfortable and able to then join in the transition to face-to-face tutoring at the facility at the Stoughton Library.
Okay. So obviously this is only for someone who has access to a computer. They're not able to go to the Stoughton Library to use their computers?
That's correct. And this is really for safe during COVID tutoring. So I wouldn't recommend that people who only have access to a smartphone pursue this opportunity. They really should have a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop computer. So people do need to have a basic computer skill. And even if it's just use of email and surfing the internet, that might be adequate. It doesn't take much to click on a Zoom link and learn basics of viewing and communicating. Though ideally, individuals who have experience on Zoom would certainly be the best candidates.
Are the volunteers given a course syllabus?
The program is geared in a very specific way with very specific lessons to convey to the student. Certainly, there is going to be a level of interpersonal skill that is intuitive for a back and forth. So, it'll really be useful to have volunteer prospects who are interested to support another person, want to help them, want to encourage them. But the nuts and bolts of what they will be learning will be given to the volunteer in terms of a lesson plan and a format.
Before we move on to the computer literacy program, is there anything else that we should know about this program?
Yes, I would invite that anybody who's listening that's curious to learn about it, even if you are, saying, oh, I'm not really sure, I don't really think this will be good for me. If you're curious and want to attend the orientation, you are certainly welcome to. And I will pass on my contact information at the appropriate point for anybody to contact me for this orientation.
And obviously the orientation is over Zoom.
Correct.
Okay.
It is over Zoom.
All right, let's now talk about the computer literacy program. So who is eligible to participate in that program and who will be teaching the program?
Oh, wonderful questions. Well, I'm so excited about Cyber Seniors because this is a professional organization. Let me give you a quick overview. We have received supplemental funding from our federal grant, particularly for Cyber Seniors, because given the pandemic, as well as the foreseeable ongoing need for older adults who can benefit to reduce social isolation through more competency with the computer, we are going to pay Cyber Seniors per individual who is interested to partake in this program, specifically adults age 55 plus who live in Norfolk County or even slightly outside the county. We don't need to cut it off specifically at the county level. Could be Greater Boston, people who are listening, because we want to extend the opportunity, and we do have a good number of openings. We plan to do this really have a couple of different sessions over the next few months of people starting. So that is, so people who are eligible are people who already have a laptop or computer or desktop and have basic experience with using email and surfing the internet. The primary focus is going to be teaching participants the platforms of Zoom and Google Meet. So let me explain the specifics of the program and why those platforms, plus the additional benefits. So we decided on both of those platforms because in our experience, we use both those platforms in volunteering. Zoom is very popular it's probably the most popular platform, but Google Meet seems to be popular with the school systems and elementary schools. So the way this works is beginning end of February, we will start a group of 15 to 30 members who will meet once a week, starting with Zoom in a classroom setting with the instructors of Cyber Seniors. They will meet once a week for the first 2 weeks over Zoom, and then the following 2 weeks over Google Meet. And one of the exciting things is in between sessions, there will be an 800 number for participants to call to get help on anything that they need related to computer use. So while the focus, in our view, is teaching older adults how to use these platforms to be able to really have face-to-face interactions with people. If a person wants to learn Facebook or is having a particular issue with Facebook or with a tablet or with, let's say, any other kind of software that they're using or a spreadsheet, they can ask the mentors. These mentors are typically college students who are getting course credit and are trained to work with older adults. After the first month, while having this ongoing phone support, then the participants will have once a week over 4 weeks, hourly sessions face to face with an individual mentor to help them with whatever issues they have on the platforms and any other issue that they have on the computer. Beyond that, Tamara, for another 4 to 6 months, if these individuals want to still make phone calls to get assistance to reinforce these skills, they can do so. So Cyber Seniors is really going to help these individuals uh, develop new permanent skills, because individuals, as we age, we're more forgetful. It's harder to learn new things, but it'll be tailor made really per individual. And that's what I'm excited about.
So I have to ask, you started out by saying that you will be teaching people primarily about Zoom and Google Meet,
Yes.
and they will be meeting over Zoom. So
Yes.
will there be instructions for these seniors how to access Zoom so that they can participate in the class?
I'm sure there will be. One thing I know at the get-go is that I will be sending out the contact information of all participants to Cyber Seniors a few weeks before we begin. Cyber Seniors will send a link where people could simply click on the link in order to get started. If they have issues and are confused at the beginning, they will be able to contact me or Cyber Seniors directly. So they will get assistance to get on that initial call. And from then on, they have complete support.
Okay. Now, just to clarify, the people who will be volunteering to teach these classes will be college students, you said? College age students?
Typically, that's what I am told. Yes, these are students that are going to get course credit for their participation. They've been doing it. It's not as if it's new to them, while they're always recruiting some new people, though these are students who are experienced for the most part in training older adults and are very computer literate, of course.
How will you be finding these students? Will they be from local colleges, or since it's remote, can it be anywhere?
The beauty is we are paying Cyber Seniors who will be handling all these. Cyber Seniors has programs running all over the United States and Canada, and they have been doing this for over 10 years. They started, of course, with in-person training, uh, having college students come into the homes of older adults, and they've adapted it for this pandemic. So Cyber Seniors, and I've seen a documentary that they've produced, uh, which is heartwarming and wonderful to see adventurous older adults, some of them in their late 80s and early 90s, that go ahead and learn and have fun learning, and to watch tutors that are very connecting, very much enjoying the process. And it changes their perspective of older adults as they see it's not their grandmother and grandfather, it's somebody new, it's a new friend. One thing that I would like to add that's useful for me to add as we're doing this, number one, is an end in itself to help reduce social isolation and teach these older adults. But I am going to extend an opportunity. It's an ask for people who are interested after their training. I would like to match up cyber seniors, individuals, to become, those that are interested, to become once a week remote friendly visitors, to just meet with an isolated older adult once a week for a half hour on Zoom to say hello and make a new friend and develop their skills. What's also exciting is that the cyber seniors community, which all participants will be involved with, has, just by going to the website, which volunteers will learn, students of cyber seniors will learn. There are all these class offerings online. People could go to cooking classes. People could go to all kinds of workshops. So it becomes a virtual community for all of the participants where they could meet others, be in chat rooms. They would learn how to chat if they wanted to, as well as attend different classes. So there's so much being offered by cyber seniors who, again, has been at this for over a decade.
You
Sounds
mentioned
good, doesn't it, Tamara? Doesn't it
it
sound
does.
great?
It does. You mentioned that you will be paying people. How do you get your funding?
We are paying for the people. So we are getting, somebody else said, oh, you're going to be giving stipends to the volunteers. I said, no, they're going to be, we're going to pay their way to for this class. We get the funding through AmeriCorps Seniors. We received a supplemental grant this year due to COVID to use in whatever ways we thought would be best in countering the loss of volunteers due to the pandemic. So, in the spirit of boosting up remote volunteering, this is a big part of the future to me, Tamara, where even when COVID is gone beyond us, a good portion of our volunteering will stay with remote. We will certainly be back out there in the world in a big way. But think about older adults who would like to have visits. Uh, some really are disabled or immobile, and there's always going to be a place for remote volunteering. So, in summing this, any student of cyber seniors, we would want you to consider afterwards being a once a week friendly visitor. Uh, you might be advanced enough to consider being a remote elementary school tutor or even an English as a second language tutor. Some volunteers that are in those other programs right now are going to be joining cyber seniors to boost up their other skills, and they'll be able to go back to elementary school tutoring and literacy training more well equipped. I've said a lot, but I'm so excited.
As you should be. I was going to say these programs sound fabulous. So, for our viewers watching, how do they sign up if they're interested?
Thank you. Viewers should call me directly, would be, I'd say, the easiest way. My name again is Robert Pearson. I'm the director of Norfolk County RSVP. My direct phone line is 781 234 3445, or my email address is rpearson@norfolkcounty.org.
And does your website give a description of these programs?
It should be, as I've just requested an update of our media volunteer to do so. So yes, norfolkcounty.org/RSVP would be the website to look at it, or on our Facebook page. People could just search Google for Norfolk County RSVP on Facebook.
Is this the first time you will be offering either of these two programs?
It is the absolute first time. That's why I'm excited. And, you know, it's a new beginning in many ways as we start 2021, especially because these are foundational programs, especially the cyber seniors. Assuming a success, I would see building in these type of programs into our regular budget into the future to continue training older adults through this 2-month program to use computers. There's only so frequently, I guess, their grandson or granddaughter are going to answer the phone to help them. And this way they could just call as frequently as they want and would get a quick response and assistance. And these folks have patience. Don't be afraid. It's you as seniors that need to have patience with yourself in learning new skills, and you will be met with support and care and skill.
That's a wonderful piece of advice. Is there anything else our viewers should know?
We at Norfolk County RSVP are here to support you. You have much activity and opportunity for connection and learning, and we are here to help. So we hope you keep us in mind, and thank you very much for listening.
Well, it has been wonderful speaking to you and learning about these two programs and learning more about the Norfolk County RSVP program. I hope that we can do an update once the programs are underway and see how people are faring.
We certainly can. I will look forward to it. I will keep you informed and look forward maybe in the spring or later in the spring to check in with you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.